pay, cause the premium must go on. When you see them reckless drivers coming down like a fire engine, move your front. Move your front. Anyway, it's not my fire. They will be out there. Move your front. Move your front. It's not just move your front. Shift your front. They could dent in the side. They could dent in behind. But move your front.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And the time here in SPG, it is 7:45, and that means we are joined by Mr. Kingsley DeFreitas for today's commentary. Kingsley, good morning to you.
Good morning, Miss Sandra. I am lost for words because I am one of the Vincentians who admire Saboto from a distance. So whenever I get a job to the country, I make inquiry from the people in that constituency about their take on Saboto last interview. And I was doing that for the last 3 days. And for some reason, this channel, I am disappointed from what I'm hearing about the people in that constituency and the attitude towards Saboto Caesar. They say that he was a bright prospect. All of a sudden, he has become Mr. Promise. Don't fulfill them. Don't answer his phone. And they think it's time for them to change. And when I ask them if this is the man to be cut loose and Saboto Caesar, they say yes because they don't have a choice. I mean, I am disappointed because I think that Saboto Caesar, when he came in as a very young man, has a bright prospect and would have made a serious political impact on the land. At one time, before Saboto was given notice by Cameron Gonzalez, people thought that Saboto would be the obvious choice to replace Dr. Gonzalez. That seems to fade away since Canada was parachuted into the conscience he currently holds. And here, Miss Samuel, I am from that area originally. My mom and my father was born in San Francisco. They moved over to Montreal. So I know the area quite well. And like I say, I'm so disappointed with the response from persons who I spoke to about the impact of Saboto Caesar. So I no longer have the confidence that I had in recent time about his candidacy in terms of winning. I don't know if the impact of his growth is making grow, but it appears that people are wary and they say they're not seeing him. They say he's making promises and not fulfilling promises. And he has a feature like Canada Gonzalez. Give your number, but you don't want to support. People like to be a part of the election race. And Saboto Caesar should know how important it is for people to communicate with the elected parliament. He's a countryman. He spends time among farmers and the importance of farming. Farmers support him. Ross John making some serious critical analysis of Saboto. So I am saying to you this part of my commentary, I no longer have a confidence I once had in Saboto Caesar. I don't know if the people proving wrong or right, or whatever we're going to start our election. I think also we'll have a surprise where they are and who they think they win. Because honestly speaking, I thought that Saboto season would have been less. But all the people who I spoke to, it couldn't be wrong. And they're making an impact and they're saying that Saboto has fallen off. So I'm hoping that he returns and see somebody will get the message and tell them that the people of Savannah say they need to see him. The people of Mongoland, the people all over say they're not seeing him. Miss Anna, you have a great day. I'll probably see you tomorrow.
You'll probably see me tomorrow. All right, Kingsley. Have a good one. All right, thanks. And that was today's commentary with Kingsley DeFreitas and his question. Well, he's saying that the constituents are disappointed with the representation given by Saboto Caesar. All right. So, constituents, if anybody's out there and you have a different take on what Kingsley is saying, you could feel free, go right ahead and call it. All right. It is an interactive program. Number to call is 457-9997. All right, so just to lend my commentary to what Kingsley said. So Saboto Caesar is an elected official, right? And he does have a ministry. He does have a portfolio. And there are times when I wonder, well, I mean, I'm not necessarily the type of person to be looking out for my constituency rep within my area, right? I'm not necessarily that type of person. However, I do recognize that for some persons, it is important for them to see them. However, I think that sometimes it is difficult for elected officials to strike a balance between actually getting work done and actually getting work done and being involved in their constituency, right? I think sometimes we do have this great expectation of maybe wanting to see them on the ground a lot more. From what it is that I gather sometimes that there are persons who, some of these elected representatives, that they would go within the communities or they would attend the funerals or whatever functions that they think that is necessary for them to show their face. But let's say on a weekly basis for them to be, quote unquote, hanging out within the communities or within the constituencies, it may not be possible. Many of them within their own roles as well, they do travel often representing either their portfolio or the nation. All right. So I think sometimes I'm not sure what it is that we want. I know that their portfolio or the nation. All right. So I think sometimes I'm not sure what it is that we want. Joshua. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yes. Medea. Good morning. Good morning. You know, I do welcome Kingsley's commentary. The only problem I have with him, and it's a real big problem, is that he does not take kindly to anybody at all speaking, even though if it's constructive, negatively about anything that he says. You know, he's got to learn to give and take. But
what does this stem from? It can be from what he said this morning. So this is something else
it stems from him. It stems from him overall. This goes to what I'm going to say now. You knew the part of the trio, you know, the awesome trio, Miss Chin.
Nicole.
Nicole, yes. I've been getting some very positive feedback from her. Most outstanding was, now she would encounter something, someone would say something, and right away she would jump on it, what is right or wrong, you know. When she made reference to Bermuda being referred to as Barbuda, I'm glad she made that correction, because we're not even remotely close to Barbuda. We are way up in the Atlantic. Our closest neighbor is the Carolinas, 600 miles away. We're not in the Caribbean. We're not in the West Indies. And it was someone here in Bermuda who brought that to my attention and said, oh, man, she is good. She corrected that because we are not Barbuda at all. So, Nicola, thank you very much for bringing that to light. And I've been getting a lot of positive comments about you. You're a great presenter. You're not just going to stand by and somebody say the sky is green and it's not green. You step on it right away and you lovingly make that correction. And again, Roleza, it's not just about what Kingsley said today. It's Kingsley overall. He's quick to be critical of every single thing, but don't you dare say that Kingsley has on a green shirt if the shirt is black.
Kingsley have a program on a Tuesday, right? Why you don't call him and address these things?
No. I do not. I do not listen to him because I have zero tolerance for castor oil.
All right. Well, you could understand in the minds of us as listeners where we're not seeing the connection with what he said this morning with what you say now, right?
And this is it. You're not listening to me.
I heard you say. I heard what you said, but it just kind of come out of the blue.
It's not just this morning. No, it didn't come out of the blue. It's not just this morning. Kingsley comments on your show. I'm not talking about Kingsley's show. The commentaries he makes on your show. I don't know what he does on his show. As I said, he's very quick to criticize everything, but he's not willing to embrace. Criticism is good, Criticism is good because if I'm talking to you, every time I talk to you, you turn away your face. I don't know why you're doing that, but if you whisper in my ear, Joshua, would you like a dentine? I would get the message that my breath is bad, and I'll take care of that. So this is your show. I'm not talking about Kingsley's show. This is your show. Kingsley's on your show. Have a great day, ladies.
All right, Joshua. Have a good one. All right, so just to lend my final thoughts with regards to that. Now, while it is that I said all that I said, it's not making excuses for these politicians, these elected representatives. It's not making excuses. I do think that I suppose now I do have to question how often are the constituency offices open? Are they opened on at least once a week? Are they opened at least once a month? Or we see them open a lot more frequently when it's a lead up to elections? That's a question that somebody could answer for me because I really don't know. All right. I tend to drive past many of the constituency offices and see that they are closed. They're predominantly open during the time leading up to the national elections. And I think if many of the elected representatives want to be able to be a bit more in tune with the constituents, maybe rather than necessarily having to walk through the communities, because some constituencies are quite large, maybe have the constituency offices open at a scheduled day and time when it is convenient, or when it's convenient for them, as in the elected representatives, to have them open, that persons who have concerns can visit and be interactive with their constituency representatives. But for elected officials, it's going to be a challenge. Unelected officials, they have the world of time on their hands, especially if they're already retired. So you're going to see them often, but it's not going to be the same for a working representative. All right, Nicole?
So, of course, and the thing is, I don't know who the representative is. I don't understand the landscape that well yet. Mm-hmm. But what I'm going to say is people don't necessarily only have one thing going on at a time. There's so many things that are happening. There's so many activities that are being done day to day in addition to representation. And from that perspective, I think sometimes we have to understand that it's like WhatsApp. And it's like instant replying, where you feel, okay, I sent her WhatsApp, I see the blue ticks. Why is she not replying? And I keep saying to people, I'm never going to change my phone to not show that I have seen your message. I'm always going to be on blue. Mm-hmm. But what we have to do is understand that it does not mean I've ignored you, I have abandoned you. It's just that I haven't had the time yet to compose the appropriate reply or to address you directly, because I don't want to do slipshod. So I'm not defending anyone because I really don't understand the dynamic there yet. But what I know is sometimes we can't do it all, and we have to understand from both sides of the fence when something is happening or not happening, there might be a good enough rationale. So when you see my blue tick and you know I have read your message, I haven't abandoned you. I might reply a week later, but I am not going to take it for granted that you have made an effort to engage me, and I am going to respond accordingly.
So let me take you up with this blue tick business, right? Because I am one of them. Listen to me. If I see you read my message, right? My whole thing is don't open the message until you are ready to respond, right?
Man,
because the blue tick gives me an indication that you have read the message, and chances are, if you read the message, you are going to forget to respond. Now, I know we're linking it back to availability of persons and taking things for granted and wanting instant responses. So that's how we linking it. But Nicole, I don't know, it drives me up the wall because to me, it could mean that my message is going to end up being pushed all the way down simply because you've opened it and you've forgotten to respond.
So let me tell you the creature that I am, right? Because I think this is important. This is important to talk about today as well. The creature that I am glad that WhatsApp is, and a lot of apps are creating these other features. So there's a pin feature, and you might see that sometimes. So after we speak, I might pin something to the top of the chat, right? And that's because I'm going to come back to it. That means I'm coming back. But I'll tell you this. I might read something and I might be driving, or I might be on the program right now.
Then don't read it afterwards.
No. I want to see how urgent it is. So you've been Can I just say this? Let me explain this, right?
Okay.
You've been my priority because I read your message. And I'm doing this really from a very gentle standpoint. You've been my priority because I saw your message coming in and I've read your message. There's a feature that does a thumbs up or an emoji. I will reply with an emoji, or I might be like, you know what, this is not deserving of an emoji. This needs my reply, but I can't reply right now. I also can't tell you I can't reply right now. But I'm going to pin it. I'm going to pin it to the top so you know I'm coming back to it. Or before the end of the day, every day for me, or the start of the following day, I scroll through every single WhatsApp that I missed or missed replying to. And I will come back and I'll tell you, even like on LinkedIn, the other day, somebody commented on something on LinkedIn 8 months ago a post that I did 8 months ago. And I missed the comment, I missed the reply, but it was a genuinely important reply or comment. And I went back in there just earlier this month and I was like, oh my gosh, listen, I am sorry. I did not see this 8 months ago when you made the comment, but I'm back. And I said it. I said, I'm back here now to acknowledge, to also respond and to engage. So I'll tell you this, we have to adapt our expectations to being a little more forgiving when it comes to how we respond. Because I'll tell you this, social media and technology made us into these beings that need an instant whatever. I mean, at the microwave. And let me go to the microwave one time, because you see that dinner plate action where in 30 seconds something hot? That is how we have become as a world. And I don't own a microwave. I haven't owned a microwave for over 20 years. And people are like, so how you warm up your food? I say, with a pot. I just put it in a pot. It could be frozen as block ice. I put it in a pot. And I have learned to exercise patience when I'm hungry and I like my belly. So
all right, so you and I will take this back up another time, because we have different opinions with regards to this, right? So we got to take this up. Yes, so let's head on out of this segment. And so the time here in SVG, it is 8:03, and our time check came to you with the compliments of New Haven Funeral Home.
Death is a fact of life. Even though death is a fact